goddess and personifications of the four seasons. Quintus describes them as the four handmaidens of Hera, but in most other accounts, their number is just three, as in peace, order, and justice. And their parents are Zeus and Themis instead.
Okay.
So there's a lot of stuff like, oh, well, it's like Jerry Springer.
Yes.
Lastly, Selene.
Always Jerry Springer was Zeus.
Yes. Lastly, Selene was said to be the mother of the legendary Greek poet Musaeus. And really, like, the important thing is she's had a lot of babies.
Yeah.
The late 7th century, earliest 6th century BC poet Sappho apparently mentioned Selene and Damon, which is what she's mostly known for with her lovers. However, in the first account of the story comes from the 3rd century BC Argonautica and Apollonius of Rhodes, which tells of Selene's mad passion and her visiting the fair Endymion in the cave on Mount Latmus.
Wow.
So yeah, there's like a lot of drama with it. Apparently, like, he's like asleep, and I don't know if she like does stuff to him in his sleep. I don't know. Like, I couldn't find everything. Every author that writes about her writes a different thing.
Yeah.
But okay. Here's another quote.
Okay.
Not I alone then stray to the Latmian caves, nor do I alone burn with love for the fair Endymion. Oft times with the thoughts of love I have driven away by thy crafty spells, in order that the darkness of night thou mightest work thy sorcery at ease, even the deeds dear to thee. And now
ma'am,
thou thyself too hast part in like mad passion, and some god affliction has given thee Jason to be thy grievous woe. Well, go on and steel thy heart, wise though thou be, to take thy burden of pain fraught with many sighs. And so, literally, she fell in love with him because he was so beautiful. Quote, surpassing the beauty, the moon fell in love with him, and Zeus allowed him to choose what he would, and he chose to sleep forever, remaining deathless and ageless. So she could like visit him.
Wow.
Yeah, and kiss she might. Quote, Cicero seems to make Selene responsible for Endymion's sleep so that she may kiss him while he sleep. One final little quote here. It's the Quintus guy wrote that while Endymion slept in his cave beside his cattle, divine Selene watched him from on high and slid from heaven to earth for passionate love, drew down the immortal, stainless queen of night. I was like, okay, I like that.
While he lay with his cattle?
While he lay with his cattle. So
that sounds like the Circe thing. But she was whatever, right?
Yeah, kind of. Well, she was
remember
kind of like a keeper.
He was a fisher. He was a fisherman.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
He's
No.
throwing treats at her.
He's got food. He threw another one into the room.
She ran.
Yep.
Really, just oh, never mind. There's a description of her. I gotta find in my notes. There's a description of her moon chariot.
Oh,
and that was my favorite part.
I assumed.
Oh, okay. In the Homeric hymn to Selene, it gives the following description of her moon chariot that I want. The air, unlit before, glows with the light of her golden crown, and her rays beam clear whensoever bright. Selene, having bathed her lovely body in the waters of the ocean, it's like what I read before, and donned her far gleaming radiant, and yoked her strong-necked, shining team, drives her long-maned horses at full speed, at eventide in the mid-month. Then her great orbit is full, and then her beams shine brightest as she increases. So she is the sure token and a sign to mortal men. So that is what I read earlier. But I just love that. I love the moon. And
the moon is everything.
I just wish the Greek gods and goddesses would stop fucking their siblings, because it's weird.
It is weird.
And then underneath that is the lovely picture that you left for me.
Yeah. It was the moon.
It was the moon.
How poetic.
A full moon.
A full moon.
But girl, I think that's it for me. Anything you want to say about the gods or goddesses?
No.
Listen, guys, we just did tip of the iceberg here. Check them out. Nicole loves anything Egyptology.
Yeah.
I mean, I do too.
I love all mythology.
Yes. And I love mythology as long as women are being treated right.
Yeah. True.
I like women in power.
Honestly, we've mentioned the book Circe, and it's a book. We did the book for a book club.
Yeah.
Still recommend that book.
10 out of 10.
It's a lot, but it is a good
lot.
book.
I think
you have to be able to like pay attention to it.
Yeah, I think I listened to that when I drove out to Shauna's this past summer.
I think so.
I think that's all I want to say about this week. Mythology's fun. Sorry about the butchering.
I still have a mythology book at your dad's house or your parents' house. You remember that book I got at? We went to like Barnes and Noble or something, and I got a book on mythology, and your dad was reading it.
We'll find it.
Yeah. It's not a big deal. I know exactly where it's at. That's why I've never like worried about it.
It's on
but
my
it makes
mom
me
and
think
dad's.
about it.
Yeah. Why don't I remember this book?
You would if you saw it, because we got it together.
Absolutely. I would. I'm a visual person.
Yeah.
Pay attention. It's time for the regularly scheduled portion of the podcast, Song of the Week. So you want to move on to Song of the Week?
Yeah.
What's your Song of the Week?
It is That's Why by Troy Cartwright. And obviously I found it on TikTok, but I'm going home later to dance with my husband to it.
Aww.
Yeah.
Well, my song this week, because we listen to country radio all week
all
at
day.
work.
Yeah.
The song is called Buy Dirt by Jordan
Buy
Davis.
Dirt.
Yes, featuring Luke Bryan.
Love it.
And listen, I love Luke Bryan. I will never not.
Dude.
I stan him.
Yes.
And my coworker Barb, that is her flavor.
Yeah.
So she and I have been singing that all week.
Uh-huh.
And it's a great song. This week on the Cena segment. First and foremost, I'm going to go through all my current read, Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I've read her A Court of Rose and Thorns and Roses series. Fantastic. I'm in another book club with another person. I'm sorry.
Oh,
it's
forgiven.
Allie. Yeah. Allie. From my girl Allie.
From Apple Creek?
Yeah. Married to Chef?
Yeah.
Yeah, that girl.
Okay.
So,
ooh, I have gossip for you. Oh my gosh. It's about my work, but it's things for you to know.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. And then current podcast still, I am still listening to Girls Who Don't D&D.
Yeah.
That's a great one. They're all Australian. I love their voices. It's fantastic.
Therese updated or put her D&D character.
I know.
Up.
Did you see how well she rolled?
I didn't look at it. yet. I haven't even looked at Andrew's yet.
She's going to be y'all's saving grace. Is all I'm
thank
saying.
God.
However, she's a wizard, which means she's squishy. She can't take a lot of hits.
Okay. I'm a barbarian.
Yes, and my mom's she finally decided on her character. We made it this morning.
Oh,
she is going to be a dragonborn
okay.
paladin.
Okay.
So she's like a
Hey,
warrior.
girl. I could have been a dragonborn.
Well, she almost picked half
barbarian.
orc, and she's like, I'm kind of thinking about that. I'm like, Nicole's half orc. She's like, but I'm kind of thinking dragonborn.
Yes, she's definitely a spicy character.
And with her wanting to be a paladin, the dragonborn, your paladin skills, you're either strength or dexterity and charisma.
Yeah.
Well, if you choose the dragonborn, you get proficiencies in those skills.
Yeah.
Like a +2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, absolutely, you should be a paladin.
Yes.
I wrote here because I was feeling stressed and just really down the other night last night when we were doing this.
Yes.
Last night. And I said, am I going through a personality shift, work exhaustion, or suffering hyperfixation burnout?
All three.
All three. And then all of my spare time has been given to TikTok or reading. Does anyone want to vote on what my next hobby is going to be?
I'm hoping your next hobby is gardening.
I'm hoping so too. But I'm thinking, obviously not tomorrow.
Have you tried on your shorts all?
I did. I feel a little muffin toppy.
Okay, you're going to try it on. Don't worry.
Okay.
In front of me, obviously.
But they do fit.
Okay, good.
I put them on. When I put them on, I wasn't wearing anything else. So I come up and I'm like, I
can only imagine.
Listen, it covered just enough that my nipples were covered as long as I didn't
I'm like, when they come out of those rings that are there, what?
I don't think it was as sexy as I was hoping. Because he was just like, what are you wearing?
Just a loincloth. Don't worry.
I am so excited about us possibly next Sunday starting our first D&D campaign.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. Especially because Mom finally got her character done. Yeah. I have our first few
my dice box is coming in.
Let me know when it arrives.
Yesterday.
I see you're having an allergy eye there.
Am I?
Yeah, it's all your left eye's all bloodshot.
Oh, it feels fine.
It's only bloodshot on the sides, and maybe you touched makeup.
I did do this.
Yeah, and that's where it's bloodshot.
Yep, that's it. And I was petting your dog because she apparently needed physical touch as well.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. Every time she barked, guys, it was because we lifted our hand away from her body.
Yeah. My children are needy.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Wife Wednesday podcast. I'm the goddess Celine.
And I am chaotic energy.
Bye. All right, wives. We are at Wife Wednesday Pod on Instagram and Facebook. And because Twitter can go fuck themselves, you can find us at Wife Wed Podcast. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and of course on our host, Spreaker. You can reach out to us on any platform or email us directly at info@wifewednesdaypod.com. Our episodes drop every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Remember, we post Song of the Week every week on Instagram stories, and it is saved in highlights. And for our book clubs, we have all the books we read listed on Goodreads, which can be found on our link tree located in our bio on all platforms, along with our Spotify Song of the Week playlists. We would also like to thank our manager, Dustin, for dealing with us on a weekly basis.